guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you so much for watching today. Thank you. If this is your first time here, do not forget, as usual, that subscribe button is below. Click that subscribe button and make sure you turn on the notification bell, alright, so that when I post a new video like this, you would be the first to watch. So today's video, I want to talk about how much money you need or what is the estimate you can budget in order to study in Italy. Now, there is something here a lot of international students don't know. I know it's pretty difficult to look for all this information. If you have been applying for scholarships, right, and you are not able or you didn't succeed and time is not on your side, you can try schools in Italy. Yes, the reason I said you should try schools in Italy is because Italian universities, I mean the public universities, not the private ones, Italian public universities have very low tuition fee. That is to say, you can pay like between maybe 800 to 1,200 euros in Italian schools. There are schools that you can pay 500 euros. There are schools that you can pay 700, 800 euros. The school I got admissions in 2017, no, that was 2015, was 1,350 euros with a certain 150, making it 1,500 euros a year. It's a year, not per semester, okay? So if you don't have much money, all right, let me put it this way. You don't have enough money and you have been applying for scholarships and they fail you, I can say apply for, or I would recommend you apply for Italian universities. There are a lot of universities in Italy, all right? You have schools like the University of Salento, you have schools like the University of Padova, you have the University of Turin, the University of Milan, all right? There are a lot of them, but I think the University of Milan is a little bit more expensive, okay? So now, remember that today's video is about the cost or what to expect or how much you need to budget in order to migrate to Italy, maybe probably for study purposes. Yes, study purposes, not visitors or maybe business purposes. Study purposely, strictly studies purpose, all right? Or if you want to move to Italy via study options, this is what you should know. Now, I will be checking my jotter over here so that I don't get mixed up, all right? I want to make sure I put everything out here. Remember, Italy is one of those countries in the EU, and again, if you must move to Italy now, all right, because the war in Ukraine is affecting a lot of things in Europe. Like I said in one of my videos, the proof of funds or money to prove that you have money to study in Germany nowadays have been added, all right? Probably not added, but a website from the immigration officials in Germany is already showing it. A lot of WhatsApp and maybe Facebook groups are talking about it already. Even Citibank is talking about it, which probably means that they already have information from the government, all right? Now, looking back to Italy, how much can you spend in Italy? I will talk about tuition fee. I will talk about residence permit cost. I will talk about the cost of tuition. I already mentioned that. I will talk about health insurance, all right? I will also talk about tax, rent, all right, accommodation, deposits, flights, and of course, visa. But I may not talk about everything like things including bus fee and maybe bank charges or maybe bank fee when you want to create a bank account. You should verify all of this to know what you are going to do, okay? So now, let's start with the tuition fee. Like I said, there are schools in Italy where you can pay between 500 euros to up to like 4,000 euros. It all depends, but most of the times you will have just the private universities that are very expensive for you to pay, okay? Now, let's assume that your university is 1,000 euros or 1,500 euros. I will just mention everything here. Then you look for a pen. Make sure you get a pen so that post this video right now. Get a pen. You start the calculation so that you understand what I'm going to be talking about. Then you know how much you are going to budget. Okay. So that is what I'm going to say. Let's assume that you are in a school where your tuition fee per year is 1,000 euros. Tuition fee set aside is 1,000 euros. Now let's go back to the residence permit, because for you to study in Italy, remember I said this amount I'm going to be giving is not fixed, all right? It is not fixed. So this is what you should expect, or in between you should budget. Now, tuition fee 1,000 euros. Residence permit is what you need when you arrive Italy, or probably before you move to Italy. In some countries you get a residence permit like Finland and Austria, but in some countries you get a student visa like Norway and Germany, all right? Then you get your residence permit in that particular country. So for Italy, The residence permit is for 1 year. Then after the next year, you renew it again. Okay. So for you to pay the permit, you need to spend between 100 euros to 120 euros. But I think the amount should be between 115 to 120. So calculate that. Just make sure you give intervals. It's not fixed. Okay. Then again, the next thing I want to talk about is the health insurance. You cannot live in a foreign country without a health insurance policy. Even while I was in Northern Cyprus, I think my residence permit cost me around, for the last year, because as the year goes by, the amount increases. Okay. The last year my residence permit was around £150. I cannot remember very well. But now, the health insurance for Italy is per year, and you have to pay that. It depends. Not all the insurance policies are the same. There is a policy, or let me say an insurance policy, that you are going to meet a doctor if you are sick. But the other type, you cannot meet a doctor. So there is no need paying for something where you cannot meet a specialist. Just pay for the one that you can meet a doctor, and that one is around 160 euros, all right, per year. So we trash that one out. The tax is what everybody pays in any foreign country. If you are not living, even in your own home country, you still have a tax you are going to pay for. All right. In case now you are in a foreign country, you have a tax you are going to be paying. Those in North Cyprus, you have a tax, and I know where the tax office is because I've paid my tax there before. Even on campus, when you are paying tuition fee, you have a certain amount of money called a value added tax. All right, but I believe that one is different from this tax I'm talking about. It's a normal tax every foreigner pays, and in Italy it's 176 euros, all right, per year. So that is what you should put into consideration. Now let's move to accommodation. I would also like to emphasize here that accommodation depends on, one, where you are taking the accommodation; two, the landlord who is giving you the apartment; three, the age of the apartment; four, the type of apartment you are looking for. All right. Now, why do I say so? Older apartments are less expensive than new apartments. And again, there is something called a furnished apartment, and there is something called unfurnished apartment. Or let me put it, a furnished apartment have everything inside. You just take your bag and you move in. You don't buy anything, all right, like utensils or whatever. Then the age of the apartment too differs, all right, or depends on what you are going to be given. And again, the landlord too is another factor. Now, for Italy, you are going to be spending between, let me say, 180 to like 400 or even 500 euros for apartment. But again, it depends on how much you want. As a normal person who manage her stuff or his stuff, you can spend between, if you're someone who doesn't look at life the way others look at it, you can spend between 180, 200, 250 euros, and you are okay to go, all right, per month. Remember, this is per month, all right. Now you have to multiply per year, all right. When I say per month, just multiply times 12 to see the total in 1 year, all right. So now remember, this is per month. Let's put accommodation at 250 euros, all right. Multiply by 12 now to see the total. That is the reason I said look for a pen like this one. Now let's look at the other option. In Italy, like any other country, like there are some countries where before you take an apartment, you have to like pay for a deposit. That deposit is like a caution. What I mean, a caution. In case you destroy everything in that apartment when you are living, the landlord use the caution to fix the apartment. That is, I think it is everywhere, all right. But now in Italy, you are going to be paying at least 2 months caution. Some landlords may ask you 1 month, but it depends. Like I said, the landlord also varies, also depends. All right, the influence of the landlord is also matters a lot when you are getting apartment in Italy. And again, if you want to pay, let's say 2 months upfront, let's assume that you are paying 200 euros for the apartment, you need to pay 400 euros. Take 400 euros as a deposit. You are not multiplying by a year, but just a caution now, all right? That one is signed and sealed. Or let's say a deposit. Now, remember that there is something called a bus fare, all right? You have to pay for your bus charges, all right? Because you need to be using a bus, or maybe you are going to be using a bicycle, I don't know. But for the bus, let's say maybe you are spending every week maybe 12 euros. For Northern Cyprus and Turkey, the amount is relatively cheap because you are using Turkish lira, all right, which is less than the euros, all right. Now for the bus, you are going to be spending at least maybe 12 euros a week, all right. You have to multiply that by a month, then you multiply by a year, but that is not really necessary. I don't think this amount is really necessary. We are looking at bigger figures here. Now your flight is going to cost you, let's put flight at from your home country, probably from Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, or which place, or Turkey or Cameroon. All right, let's put flight at probably 700 euros. Let's just put 700 euros. All right, it may be 600, it may be 650, it may be 500, depending on these locations I mentioned. All right, let's put it 700. Now for the visa is going to cost you, let's say, everything. Remember, before you even apply for the visa, you have to do translation of your documents from English to Italian. All right, that is very important. Put that into consideration. You have to do legalization of the documents. All right, you have to legalize the documents at the level of the ministries to the foreign affairs before you take them to the Italian embassy when you are applying for the visa. And again, authentication. All right, you translate them, you legalize them, then you authenticate them. These three things are not the same. All right, and you have to be spending money alongside the visa fee. So automatically, if you look at this very well, these four processes before you apply for the visa, it may take you around, let's just say, 300 to 350 euros. All right, so that is what you should understand. These are some of the things you should know. But again, 350 euros. Now add all of this, all right, to the amounts I mentioned before. You may see that it is going closer to like 6,000 euros, 6,500 to 7,000 euros, because it is not fixed. All right, now why am I saying so, or why did I bring up this video? Because somebody was asking me, Milton, how much is the total amount I can put in my account? But again, please, very important, if your tuition fee per year, all right, is 1,000 euros, all you need to do is to sum all of this, you add to your tuition fee, then you make sure the amount is in that bank account. But like I always say, Germany is a neighbor to Italy, though not very close. You need at least 11,000 now, because the money have increased, to move to Germany. Poland is a neighbor, but not very close. You need around 7,000 plus upwards, all right, to move to Poland. Austria is a neighbor to Germany. You need at least 12,000 euros to move to Austria. Therefore, if you are moving to Italy, I would say this money I just calculated is roughly around 6,500 to 7,000 euros. Remember, I didn't mention the bus, the bank details, and some other petty things I may have forgotten. Internet, I didn't mention. All right. So if you sum all of this, you will see that it's closer to, let's just say, 7,000 euros. That is the amount you should make sure you have in your bank account before you print the statement, before you submit to the embassy. All right, make sure you have this. It must not be in your bank account. Okay, you can still have it in someone's account, let's say your parents or your father or your mother, but make sure they give you their bank statement, and of course they should give you documents to prove that they are working. These are very important things you shouldn't neglect, because if you try that, you are going to lose your visa interview. All right, or you may not be able to get this visa. It is somehow, a lot of these European countries now, they are looking for so many means. Let me say, if you joke with the monetary aspect of it, because no government wants a student to come and be a liability to them, you understand? So you must prove to them that you have money to take care of yourself, all right, in order to move to these places. For those of you who have been facing difficulties to move to Italy, to migrate, Italy is not that expensive. Okay, I know a lot of you will be like, Milton, how can I find a university I can apply to? Well, to me, it is not a problem looking for a university. Maybe it's going to be a problem to you, but I will make sure I explain in another video how you can go ahead to look for a university. But remember, there is something called pre-admissions. When you finish with your university admissions, probably you send all the documents I mentioned, from your certificates, your transcripts. Maybe you are asked to send a recommendation letter or CV, or maybe you just want to make your application have weight. You add those documents, you submit to the university. They will take maximum a month or a month and two. All right, then after that, you are going to get an acceptance offer. This acceptance offer, now you are not just going to apply for the visa, because remember, this is a conditional offer. You need to go to Italy, you create an account, you do your pre-enrollment. All right, you do the pre-enrollment. I have always said this time and again, even from Italy, you can apply for schools in Italy. That the video I did sometime, if you check the videos on my, excuse me guys, if you check the videos on my YouTube channel, you are going to see that there is a video I talked about how to gain scholarships in Italy, where I said let me say the location or the locality where your university is where you are going to be applying for the scholarship. All right, and for you to apply for the scholarships, there are specific documents you need, where I talked about properties documents from the family and all the rest, your passport and all the rest. You need to register in Italy, all right, for pre-enrollment before you move ahead with visa application. This is very important because a lot of us, we may not understand this process, but I'm taking time to explain so that we can all go through it gradually. All right, so this is the information you need. There are a lot of universities in Italy. The University of Salento, there are a lot. Bologna is the oldest, I think, and Bologna University has produced a lot of great minds. All right, Italian universities in general are ranked higher in the European Union, or let me say in Europe. But again, most universities in Italy, like Bologna and Milan, I think they are the oldest schools in Italy, if not one of the oldest, and they have very good programs. Italian universities have bachelor's degree in English language, masters in English language, and of course some have PhD in English language. So it is now left for you to go through them gradually, all right, so that you know which one you are going to take. Please do not forget the proof of funds is very important. Take a pen and calculate all of this quietly in a quiet environment so you know what you are going to be budgeting. Because someone told me that I should break them out, talk about how to apply for universities and break the process down to the smallest franc so they can calculate. That is the reason I took time to explain all of this. And again, I understand that it is going to be difficult to have some of these monies, but if it is difficult for you, ask your university if there are scholarships, because there are scholarships. There is a particular scholarship for international students, which is the 5,200 scholarships. You can apply for that. Do not forget, translation of your documents and legalization or making them authentic is very, very important for your visa application, all right? So I hope this helps somebody. If it does, do not forget, as usual, click the subscribe button and make sure you turn on the notification bell. Until we meet again in another video.